In this part of the country, the hard part isn't necessarily finding fish, it's getting there, getting yourself there, and then getting all your equipment there also. I look at this in 3 ways. One, it's got to get me and a buddy way back in some of the toughest wilderness in the Northwest. We've got to be able to get all this gear in there and travel with it safely. And it has to be fun, because after all, that's what it's all about. Rob owns a Polaris Ranger, and they're pretty popular around here. A lot of people use them, so I think he'll be looking at this a little more skeptically than I will.
Are we going up in this?
Oh yeah, that's real steep up in there.
I don't know, the last Gator that I was in, I'm not sure it's going to make it up in here.
Oh, you. You have some experience?
Yeah. 6-wheeler, I guess we'll see what's going to happen here.
Nice one.
That was amazing. Awesome. Coming up the hill, the ability to climb, the way it held the rocks as we came over them, going through the narrows, the way it fended off the brush, cornering ability, I was impressed.
You know, from down below, looking at those giant boulders on that hill, I thought we'd kind of hit them and might even backflip over them, but they just crawl and climb, and then you don't even really feel them.
You look at the size of the rocks and say, oh, we're going to scrape, and you don't even scrape.
Unbelievable flow. Keep your speed, keep the steering. Where you think a log and rocks is a dead end, you just fly over it. It wasn't even really that hard. I mean, it looked almost impossible, but it's just smooth and easy.
I think the only limit you have here is what your fear of going up something would be. Let's go down there.
Yeah. I had no idea we'd be out here horsing around like recreational ATVers, except in a utility vehicle. That's,
correct.
I mean, you could really get this thing going. It picks up and goes. You know what's cool is just when you're coming across the flats, that thing is all undulated with ruts and washes, and this thing just flies right across it. You'd think you'd just be bouncing out of here, but the suspension just holds real nice, and it's a smooth ride.
Good point. We're not only flying across there, we are flying across there with all our gear in here. You forget you've got the stuff in back while you're doing this. So it's almost like, you're on a sport four-wheeler, you forget you've got carrying all this gear with you also, and out doing that. Well, as I was telling Brent on it, I think it's a cross between really the Ranger, which I guess is more of the workhorse, and the Razor, which is their sport, and this does both those concepts that you'd want in a vehicle. It's amazing.
When I got here, I assumed we would be using a utility vehicle, and I was pleasantly and very surprised at the performance aspect of speed, agility, pounding over rocks, going through the big mud puddles and stuff like that. It was very impressive. It's definitely a recreational and very fun vehicle combined with being a great utility vehicle.
I have a friend who just bought the new Polaris 800, and I was just in it 3 weeks ago and drove it. I would go back to him right now and say, you should have waited, because this is a superior vehicle.
When you push the pedal down and you go up hills and you can go down long roads and get a lot of speed up. Yeah, it's going to surprise everybody that drives it.
Brian and I were sitting there at the end of the day going, I want one.
It just opens up a lot of country. I mean, there's certainly good places to fish and hunt with traditional vehicles, but if you want to really get back into wilderness and the backcountry, there's probably no better way than a vehicle like this.
It is the ultimate off-road vehicle. If you want to have two buddies to be able to sit next to each other, to get out and have camaraderie and enjoy it, I can't think of a better way to do it. Something like this makes the journey fun.
With the Gator, getting there is definitely half the fun.